Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button if you guys are enjoying the content that we're throwing up. And make sure you guys hit the like button if you enjoy the video. And yeah, let's begin. Turn and face the strange changes. One of my favorite YouTubers who hasn't uploaded in like 2 years, a guy named CNanners, opened up a video like that once and I just died laughing. I thought it was hilarious. But what's going on, guys? This is Rob. You guys holding on? I know it's rough out there, folks. Try to hold on as best you can, and to help you get through all of this, we are back with another installment in our What If series where we make up our own stories. And today, we're focusing on 2 villains that have been at the forefront of comics over the last year or so, and asking the question, what would happen if these 2 merged? Of course, I'm referring to the Batman Who Laughs and Carnage. So what would happen if the Batman Who Laughs became the Carnage symbiote, or at least bonded with the Carnage symbiote? Well, I think to answer that question, we need to briefly go over who the Batman Who Laughs is for those who might not be familiar. So, the Batman Who Laughs was a central figure in the Dark Knight's Metal event that ran through 2017 and 2018, and he's been one of DC's most prominent villains ever since. And originally, the Batman Who Laughs was the Bruce Wayne of Earth -22, which is part of the Dark Multiverse, which, as its name suggests, is a parallel multiverse where everything is evil. Now, on this Earth, the Joker learns that Bruce Wayne is actually Batman, and he kills Commissioner Gordon and hatches a plan to release the Joker toxin throughout Gotham City, hoping that it will cause a lot of children to see their parents die, and in doing so, they will be exposed to the same trauma that caused Bruce Wayne to become Batman, and that experience, combined with exposure to the Joker toxin, will create a series of Batman-Joker hybrids. Of course, Batman comes to stop the Joker and at that time actually kills him. But upon the death of the Joker, a concentrated form of the toxin is released, and Bruce is doused with the chemical. And so over time, this results in Bruce Wayne's transformation into the very sort of hybrid that the Joker had intended, which has Batman's intelligence and physical skills, as well as Joker's psychosis and sadism. And so one of the things the Batman Who Laughs is able to do is travel throughout the Dark Multiverse and recruit other evil versions of Batman to his cause. And we saw him do this in Dark Knight's Metal. We also see that his knowledge is somewhat based on the Multiversity book by Grant Morrison, of which the Batman Who Laughs actually has a copy of. And so if he can get his hands on an actual comic book published by DC in our world, I think it only stands to reason that he traveled to our world to acquire it. And if he did that, he would also have the ability to get copies of books published by Marvel as well. So for our story, this is how the Batman Who Laughs is going to learn about the existence of Carnage, the symbiote. And so once he learns about the symbiote, he's going to set out to acquire it by traveling to the Marvel Universe. Now, most of you are probably familiar with the Carnage symbiote, but it is an offspring of the Venom symbiote itself. And while Venom was bonded with Eddie Brock and Eddie was in jail, the symbiote helped Eddie escape, but left its offspring behind. And so the offspring, which we know as Carnage, then bonded to Eddie's cellmate, a psychotic guy named Cletus Cassidy. And this is the point where the Batman Who Laughs is going to pop up in the main Marvel Universe, just before the Carnage symbiote bonds with Cletus. And what we're going to see is that Batman Who Laughs will actually kill Cletus Cassidy so that he is the only living thing in the cell for Carnage to bond to. And so once that happens, we have a Carnageized Batman Who Laughs. He goes back to the DC Universe since he doesn't really care about the Marvel Universe and is really focused on terrorizing the main DC Universe, especially that universe's version of Bruce Wayne. And so now the question becomes really, what's different about the Batman Who Laughs once he's bonded to the Carnage symbiote? Well, keeping in mind that he already possesses Bruce Wayne's intellect, detective skills, and combat prowess, as well as the psychosis of the Joker, from a mental standpoint, the real changes from Cletus Cassidy to Batman Who Laughs are that the Batman Who Laughs is a lot smarter and tells a lot more jokes, but the psychotic nature would largely remain the same. And of course, the Carnage symbiote is going to grant the Batman Who Laughs extra abilities, including basically all of Spider-Man's powers, since the Venom symbiote has those abilities from being bonded to Peter Parker, and the Carnage symbiote inherited those abilities from Venom. And so he'll also have the ability to use the Carnage symbiote to heal from injury, shapeshift, including creating weapons from the symbiote and changing its size. So with these newfound powers, the Batman Who Laughs is going to be able to cause even more havoc than normal. And so what's going to happen is that this new character, who we're going to call the Carnage Who Laughs, is going... Dude, that's an awesome name. The Carnage Who Laughs. Dude, the Carnage Who Laughs. How How amazing is that name? But in any event, with this new character that we're calling the Carnage Who Laughs, he's going to begin terrorizing Gotham in a major way. And there's essentially going to be a lot of death to Gotham citizens, which of course is going to draw the attention of Batman. Now, as Batman engages his enemy, however, he's soon going to realize that he's dealing with something completely different than anything he's ever seen during his previous encounters with the Batman Who Laughs. When the two of them engage in battle, Batman becomes quickly overwhelmed and just manages to escape with his life thanks to his armor, but he's badly wounded. Now, he puts out a call for help and is answered by many of the Bat family, and they prepare to go into battle once more after being equipped with some upgraded armor that Batman designs for all of them. Now, even with their combined forces, however, the Carnage Who Laughs proves to be a difficult opponent to defeat, and when they begin to gain the upper hand, the Carnage Who Laughs does something totally unexpected. He imbues each of his Robins with a separate symbiote. Now, these Robins, or Ravens, whatever you want to call them, each go in a different direction, leaving a trail of death and destruction in their wake. Now, this forces the team to split up, and therefore weakens all of their efforts, leading to the decision that they need to retreat and regroup to the Batcave. But before they can fully execute their planned retreat, Damian Wayne is killed by one of the symbiote-enhanced Rabid Robins after getting isolated from the rest of the group. And so this basically raises the stakes for Batman in a way that really nothing else could have, because now the Carnage Who Laughs has directly taken his biological son away from him. Now, the other thing that happens is that Cassandra Cain, formerly Batgirl and now known as Orphan, is infected by a symbiote, but the team does not discover this until they get back to the Batcave. And when they find out, Cassandra willingly goes into isolation in a special containment cell so that she does not unwittingly harm her teammates. And so ultimately, she self-isolates because we here at Comics Explained are nothing if not topical. I feel like that was a terrible joke to make, but come on, guys. She's practicing social distancing. 6 feet! 6 feet is the rule. So the whole Bat family is essentially reeling, right? They've lost Damian, and one of their own is now infected. Now, in typical Batman fashion, Bruce dives headfirst into figuring out anything and everything he can about the symbiote as a way of avoiding dealing with the grief of losing a son in a well-adjusted, normal, healthy way. But all he can really figure out about the symbiote is that it's symbiotic in nature and that there seemingly has never been anything like it before in the DC universe. Now, Batman does not have a major breakthrough until he receives an unexpected visitor from another universe that suddenly appears in the Batcave. Now, after an initial standoff, the man tells Bruce that he's there to help because he has knowledge of the symbiote and how to defeat it. And so he introduces himself as Reed Richards. But all of us who are reading this recognize that while it is Reed Richards, we know him better, not as Mr. Fantastic, but as the Maker, the Ultimate Universe version of Reed Richards. And so, of course, Batman doesn't know that this is an evil version of Reed, since he's never heard of any version of Reed Richards before. But the two of them begin to work together alongside each other and develop a plan of attack centered around exploiting the symbiote's weaknesses, sound and heat. Now, with that information and Batman's vast resources, they build a suit of armor that emits high-frequency sonics as well as powerful flamethrowers. And so after testing his armor on the symbiote bonded with Cassandra, he goes into battle with the Carnage Who Laughs. And with this foolproof game plan in place, he's able to separate the symbiote from their host and capture the symbiote in a containment unit developed by the Maker. Now, with all the symbiotes contained, the Batman Who Laughs reverts to his normal self and he and his Robins retreat. And so with the threat of the Batman Who Laughs neutralized, Batman and the Maker go back to the Batcave, and the Maker takes the symbiotes back to his universe. Now, Batman views this as a partial victory. The Batman Who Laughs is still at large, and he's lost his son Damian for the second time. The Maker, however, views this as a total victory. Now, if you've been keeping up with the Absolute Carnage story that came out and ended not really recently, a little while ago, you know that the Maker has been trying to assemble a codex of all the symbiotes, and now he has 5 symbiotes at his disposal to unleash on the Marvel Universe, which they've never seen before, since the Carnage symbiote was immediately taken to the DC Universe after having been spawned. And so the Batman status quo is shaken up, and now there's a new threat to the Marvel Universe as well. And so I think the story is pretty effective at creating some big rippling effects that will be felt in both universes. The biggest takeaway from all this is the post-credit moment. Yes, we're going to start adding post-credit scenes to our stories. Because if there's anything that we as comic book fans like, it's post-credit scenes, right? So pick up with this post-credit scene, right? Pick up with this post-credit scene. And you basically got a Carnage symbiote that managed to separate, right? The Batman Who Laughs sent a Carnage symbiote out there into the world that nobody was supposed to know about. Now, this Carnage symbiote would bond itself to the Green Lantern Hal Jordan, not because of the Green Lantern Hal Jordan is going to be a new host. That's not what's going to happen. It's because the symbiote has somewhere to go. In its dealings, in its knowledge that it gained from the Batman Who Laughs, it learned about the greater universe in DC Comics and learned that in DC Comics, in this DC universe, there is a planet filled with beings who are full of rage. And so the Carnage symbiote takes Hal Jordan. They fly out to the middle of nowhere to a planet called Ismalt. And the Carnage symbiote abandons Hal Jordan and then stays on the planet itself until it comes across the return of the Red Lanterns, led by none other than Atrocitus. With that being said, guys, we're gonna bring this video to an end. Let me know if you want to see a video on Atrocitus as Carnage, right? A carnageized Red Lantern. Let me know if you guys want to see that, because I honestly think that would be beast. But we're gonna bring this video to an end. If you guys are new here to Comics Explained, make sure you guys hit the sub button to become part of the Rob Corps. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like, and I will catch you all later. Peace.